Hi, and welcome to the FinancialFox, finance, investment, and crypto with a twist. I'm your host, Steffi B. I'm the founder of communication consultancy, Cassiope Services, and every week I bring to you my favorite conversation with investment experts, market disruptors, mover and shakers, and the coolest project in crypto. Regulation has been a hot topic in crypto because it's the key to mainstream adoption. If you have a crypto business or you are thinking about starting one, then one of the biggest questions is where should I go, where I should incorporate my company, which is the most friendly jurisdiction with the cleanest legal framework. Today on the show to discuss regulation in Switzerland, I have Jürg Baltensperger, regulatory consultant and member of the AML Working Group Crypto Valley Association, but also managing director of JB, a boutique firm specializing in compliance, regulatory and risk management in the DLT and fintech field. But before we go into the interview, remember that all the content here is for informational purposes only, and we don't give any financial advice. So before making an investment decision, you should do your own research and take a responsibility for anything that you do. This episode is brought to you by Coinpass, the fast, secure, and compliant crypto trading platform for investors, traders, and businesses in the UK. They have a very attractive referral program where you can earn up to 20% commission, so use the link in the description to open your account and start trading today. Hi Jürg, how are you?
Hello, Steffi. Good to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you on the show so we can talk about some of the challenge that crypto is having, but also, some positive outcome, especially looking at Switzerland, which is considered one of the most friendly places to start a crypto business.
Excellent. Let's do that.
Okay, so maybe to start, do you want to tell me a little bit about yourself so then we can see what you do, we can see who you are working with. I know also you are a member of the Crypto Valley, which is a big organization in Switzerland, and then we can explore a little bit more, how Switzerland is approaching crypto.
Excellent. Thanks, Steffi. Yes, my background is I'm a Swiss lawyer as well as a risk manager. And I founded JB a little bit more than 4.5 years ago, because before that I was working in private banking, compliance, different positions, as well as head risk legal and compliance of a Swiss private bank, moved on to consultancy. And I learned a lot during my career about different fee models. I really actually didn't really enjoy working with external consultants. Because I always get the impression that they make things way bigger than they really are in order to be able to charge more hours. And that was the initial idea of founding JB. Back then, it had no relation to crypto or fintech. I just wanted to have a different kind of model how to do consulting. JB started, and the first client was Falcon Private Bank, where I overtook the role as head compliance at interim to help out in a difficult situation of the bank. But at the same time, they built up their crypto business. So I was one of the first one at the Swiss bank level who then designed the onboarding process for clients from the crypto space. And this was back in 2017, and my start actually in the crypto business. From then on, JB developed in that direction. Today, we're servicing about up to 40 different clients, financial intermediaries located in Switzerland that are active in the crypto space, and about 5 clients with a fintech license or on the way to get a fintech license. Already also got the chance to build up the compliance department of Signum, the first crypto bank of the world. We set up educational studies in this area. So there's a lot going on in Switzerland in the crypto space that we were able to support.
Fantastic. That sounds great. So just tell me why Switzerland? I mean, at the moment we are seeing actually Dubai is quite hot. Binance is getting incorporated there. It's kind of like there are these jurisdictions, they become really popular to crypto, but Switzerland has been here since the beginning. So I want to understand what are the pillars, what are the fundamentals that make you say Switzerland is really the place that businesses should look at?
Yes, indeed, you described it very, very nicely. There are a lot of hotspots showing up but disappearing, like pop-up countries, I would say. And Switzerland actually started initially here with the crypto development. I'm actually living in Zug in the crypto valley, so a few hundred meters from my home there is the location of the Ethereum Foundation that came to Switzerland 2013 actually. And these guys were here. I just got the story from a corporation partner who explained how it was back then when they've been in an Airbnb here. There's also a book about it. I don't want to talk too much about it, but this is how it actually started together with Bitcoin Swiss. And the government was very open for this development here in Zug in the Crypto Valley, which helped a lot, of course, tax-wise, because the taxes are very low here, but also from support-wise. So I was recently at the commercial register of Zug, and there is written you are also able to pay in Bitcoin if you want. So this is the ecosystem here that developed quite heavily. Cardano Foundation is here. We have with SEBA, we have a crypto bank here. Bitcoin Swiss is here. Tezos Foundation is here. There's a lot of people were attracted, maybe initially by Bitcoin Swiss and the Ethereum Foundation, to come to Zug, which is, by the way, a very, very beautiful city. And it is, the advantage here is, I would say, authorities, taxes, ecosystem, and also the regulatory requirements in Switzerland in general, which is technology neutral and not case law based. So I talked once to a guy from Israel and asked him, why don't you do crypto business in Israel? And said, well, we're a case law driven jurisdiction. So sometimes someone shows up and says, oh, crypto is like a case in the 70s that we did something else. And another one shows up and says, no, it's like a case that was in the 60s, and do these analogies. And this is not taking place here in Switzerland. So that helps us very much. And of course, the political will combined with Switzerland as a very innovative country to develop this business, this whole package and combination is a very great platform for the development here.
Let's focus for a second on crypto tax, because this is something that in other places, I mean, in the US, in the UK, everybody is talking about how the government should go after crypto tax, where you put it as one of the point where the Switzerland is actually very clear on. So tell me a little bit more.
Well, I'm not a tax expert,
Sure.
so it's a little bit less about how to tax crypto if you have crypto in your portfolio. According to my knowledge, it's just an asset class that you need to then declare. But it's more about the company taxes here that may make Zug as a very interesting place to build up your crypto business. And of course, you want to create revenue, you want to create profit, and the profit has to be taxed. The tax, as I said, I'm not a tax expert. I think you have a tax on company profit of about 10% or something like this.
Okay.
I'm not sure, and for foundation, definitely it is different.
Okay, so let's move on. If you are a crypto business and you are considering a place, a country where you want to set up your organization, how that works in Switzerland. So what kind of steps you need to do in order to get there and being able actually to start your business there?
Okay. Let's assume you want to be a financial intermediary. Of course, if you have another business case, such as you just want to build up an IT tool that you're not classified as a financial intermediary, it's a different story. But if you want to play a role in the financial market and be financial intermediary registered in license in Switzerland, you have a few options. The first one is, first of all, you need to fund a company here in Switzerland. That is super easy, doesn't take long, doesn't cost a lot of money. You need one director that is domiciled in Switzerland. There's a lot of people here that are offering this service, so it's a very established business, as well as domicile and accounting services. And then you can apply with a so-called self-regulatory organization. There is one in Zug that serves a lot of companies, financial intermediaries from the crypto space. It's called VQF. And with this membership, you can offer quite a range of services, such as a crypto exchange, for instance, fiat against crypto, crypto against crypto. And you can also, for instance, become a debt collector or different kind of services. You will not be able to accept deposits from the public.
Okay, because that's B2C business where you were saying for a B2B is okay, for a B2C it becomes a bit more complicated.
No, it's less driven by this. It's more driven by the service of accepting deposits from the public. It's also from companies, but from individuals. You can also run your B2C business with an SRO membership. If you have a crypto exchange, you can accept individuals. The law doesn't distinguish between B2C and B2B in this situation. This is the easiest process. You apply for a membership with the self-regulatory organization. Those self-regulatory organizations are supervised by FINMA, by the Financial Market Authority in Switzerland. So it's an indirect regulation. The costs are relatively low, and I would maybe say in total between 20 and 30,000, depending on your business case. Sometimes you need a legal opinion.
Swiss franc, isn't it? Swiss francs.
Yeah. But it's in euro, it's a little bit less. In dollar, it's a little bit more. But we're quite around 1-to-1. And the duration. I just had a conversation with the CEO of VQF, and he said 3 to 5 weeks. In practice, maybe it's takes a little bit longer. It will be a meeting with VQF. In addition, where we talk about open points. Usually 1 or 2 things have to be adjusted, or there is some room for explanation about the business case. And afterwards, you're a financial intermediary in Switzerland. So I would say the whole process, about 3 months in total, costs 25,000 Swiss francs. And you're already fully regulated in a jurisdiction of a very, very good reputation that can also cause some trust for your investors and your customers.
Okay, so if you require a banking license, is that going to be more work, and what, for example, businesses need to do in order to go to that next level?
So there is actually 2 kinds of licenses. One is the banking license that includes a security dealer's license. This is a longer way. This is what Signum and SEBA did in Switzerland. Also, Bitcoin Swiss applied for a banking license, didn't get it so far. This process, then we talk about, it's difficult to say. Some say we can do it in 9 to 12 months. Yeah. I don't know, maybe more realistic is about 2 years. But then, of course, you have access to everything and you can offer all the services. Switzerland invented a new license type directly by FINMA, not via self-regulatory organization, but directly by the financial authorities of Switzerland, which is called FinTech license, which is or in other words, a banking license light.
Okay.
If you want to say so. You're allowed to accept deposits from the public up to 100 million Swiss franc or equivalent. You can also put crypto in custody, and then it doesn't count. This is separate. So this license type became very popular. There are 4 companies that are licensed so far, and I don't know how many, but maybe around 10 in the making of. So this license type allows you to accept deposits from the public, issue IBAN for your customer, and open a bank relation with the Swiss National Bank. So it's a limited version of a banking license. The costs are higher, of course, than with an SRO membership. So yeah, I would say in total 250,000 Swiss francs. Still, it's not very expensive, but of course there will be costs for staff, premises, marketing, whatsoever. So the cost around it will be way higher than just the costs to get the respective license. And the duration, we used to say it's between 6 and 9 months to get it.
Okay, well, but it's still a baby step to get towards the full banking license.
Absolutely. And I really like that license type. It became quite popular these days because you're going to be independent from banks. And this is one negative point in Switzerland. The banks do not really entered into the crypto space. They remain quite passive for the time being. Some tried, some smaller private banks started to approach the ecosystem. We have to do crypto banks. So there is banking services around. Nevertheless, the vast majority of the banks, in particular the bigger retail banks, are very cautious with this topic. And this, of course, opens up the fields for that kind of companies who go for a fintech license.
Okay, so tell me a bit more about Crypto Valley, because setting up a crypto business in Switzerland is not just because you have maybe a clear legal framework, but also because the Crypto Valley is there, and perhaps you can get support, you can get partners. What the Crypto Valley offers to crypto businesses coming to your country?
Very good question. It's basically a full ecosystem that was built here in Zug, starting as mentioned before, starting in 2013 with Bitcoin Swiss and the Ethereum Foundation that came here. Of course, it took a while to get the respective reputation and brand. There's also the Crypto Valley Venture Capital company here, CVVC, that operates the CV Labs, which is a building where a lot of crypto companies found their domicile and get a lot of services. And it is, I must say, it's just amazing if you enter that building, how many companies are there and what kind of services they offer. So you have a full ecosystem. In total, it's the latest figure I have in mind is I think 560 companies in the crypto space in Zug, in the Crypto Valley alone, which is amazing. Give you an example. I just had an audit with a client of ours, and next door in the CV Labs there was a Cardano Foundation. So I knocked on the door, opened the door. Hello guys, how are you doing? I just bought your coin. I really like what you do. Maybe we can go for lunch, and you can. This is, for me, it's like a little bit surreal. It's like if you go to the movies and you watch a movie with Ryan Gosling, and then you go to a bar afterwards to drink something, and he sits there. It's like it's really amazing that so many different players from all around the world are gathering up in the Crypto Valley, which is basically a village. In Zug, there are about 30,000 inhabitants. So you can walk. You can walk from Ethereum Foundation to Cardano Foundation to Bitcoin Swiss in 20 minutes. You're basically everywhere. You have the authorities, you have the regulator here, which is amazing. And there's of course a lot of events, not during the pandemic, but now it's opening up again. We just had 2 coins that were announced here. There's one famous bar where you can have your event. And also in the CV Labs, we just went with our students from University of Applied Science that are compliance officers who now graduate it's called Certificate of Advanced Studies in Digital Compliance Officer, who now, it takes a while until they graduate. We just started, but we had a study tour in the Crypto Valley, visiting all these players to get an impression what is going on here, and it's really amazing.
Wow, it sounds great. Listen, is there any pain point or anything where you think Switzerland still has to do some work on? Because everything you said is great. I'm just thinking, is there anything else that you think perhaps you could do better, or it represents a challenge in this moment in time?
Yes, yes. Of course, we're not the only jurisdiction who is open for crypto and fintech business. So we have to reinvent ourselves constantly. One, I wouldn't call it pain point, but one open point is the situation with banks. Of course, it would be very good to have a bigger retail bank such as Credit Suisse, UBS, PostFinance, Raiffeisen, whoever, maybe also the cantonal banks here, that they would more open up in the field of crypto, be more open to open bank accounts, as well as for these companies in the crypto field. That would be very, very supportive. On the other hand, of course, Switzerland has very high standards if it comes to living life comfort, but of course it comes along with a high price in addition. So it is not the cheapest place to be.
Yeah.
Maybe you save some money with the lower taxes, but finding the right people working for your company is not the easiest. And this is some homework for Zug in particular, even though it is quite close to Zurich, which is of course way bigger. It's also close to the airport. It's maybe not even 1 hour by train.
Okay.
So there are chances to motivate people from other cities to come here to work. But Zug is relatively small. Finding qualified staff is not very easy.
Yeah, I think that's is a big challenge. So, Jürg, anybody that is interested in learning more about how to set up a crypto business, how they should contact you?
We're definitely the right person to be contacted if it comes to your business case that you want to build up here in the Crypto Valley. We have the network. We know who is doing what is the right service provider. Our contact details are on our homepage, and we're also now on Telegram, as most of the players in the crypto field.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks very much, Steffi, for having me. It was a pleasure.